What to consider when buying a watch as a gift. Hi, welcome to exceptionaltiming.com. We're here to help you choose the perfect watch for you. Buying a watch as a gift can be a wonderful way to show your appreciation for someone. The great thing about watches as an accessory is that there are so many options to choose from. However, this may make it more difficult to choose what watch to get. So, what would you consider when buying a watch as a gift? One of the most important things to consider when buying a watch as a gift includes the recipient's style. You need to buy a watch they'll both enjoy and will be able to match with their outfits. Among the other aspects to think about, one's personal sense of style is probably the most important. Continue reading to learn more about the different things to consider when buying a watch as a gift. When you think about things like who the recipient is, how much money you're willing to spend, and more, you might come to find that you've been going about your watch buying process all wrong. Is a watch an acceptable gift? In most cases, anything you put some thought into buying for another person can be a really acceptable gift. Of course, there are some limitations, but watches do not tend to fall into that category. A watch is a great gift for someone. In addition, the many different types and styles of watches allow them to be bought as novelty gifts or as serious, more expensive purchases. Watches are great gifts because they're useful to just about everyone. Even if a watch acts as more of a convenience than anything else, it's still a great addition to one's accessory collection. With that in mind, watches are excellent ways to accessorize and add some personal flair to one's wardrobe. How to choose a watch as a gift? Before buying a watch as a gift, you must think about several factors. It is important that you do not simply go out and buy a watch that appeals to you. Keeping the recipient in mind is of utmost importance, especially if their sense of style is dramatically different from yours. Below are the main things to consider when buying a watch as a gift. Consider the watch style. There are several things in this section alone to consider before buying a watch as a gift. You need to make sure you begin on the right track so you can save yourself any unnecessary trouble or stress along the way. Some things to think about include whether you're looking for a more masculine or feminine style watch, what purpose the watch will be serving, what type of watch to look for. Even before getting into the personal style of the recipient, you must consider what broad type of watch you're looking for. Sure, it might be nice to think not all watches are made specifically with masculine or feminine qualities, but that is just the nature of the watch industry. Some watches are made to complement other pieces of jewelry or match with a dress, while others are standalone eye-catching additions that act as the sole accessory for a suit. Even casual or sports watches might be aimed towards a certain customer demographic, so you must first decide whether you're looking for a watch intended for people with specific stylistic qualities or not. If so, you might still need to look at different stores or online resources before making your purchase. Still, maybe you know the recipient is somewhat different to these qualities. In this case, you should focus more on the recipient's personal style than a broader, labeled aspect of a certain watch. Why are you choosing a watch as a gift? You also need a reason for buying the watch. Watches are not the most common gift, though they are acceptable. Still, if you do not have a reason for buying a watch as a gift, maybe no point in it. Maybe you have a friend or relative who has told you they would like a watch for telling time, monitoring their active lifestyle, or wearing it as a fashion piece. In any case, these factors play an important role in your decision. If you're buying a watch for someone who simply wants to tell time conveniently, you should look for a casual style watch. For someone who wants to track their healthy lifestyle, you should look into a sports watch or a smartwatch. If you know the recipient of the watch would wear it as a fashion piece, you can look at dress watches or luxurious watches. However the watch will be used should help you determine which type of watch to shop for. Luckily, there are countless brands and styles to choose from, so picking one out can be an exciting endeavor. Just know that it definitely helps if you know the recipient has been looking for a watch. If you buy a watch for someone who's not expecting one, it can still be a pleasant surprise, but it may not be as meaningful. Consider the recipient's style. Once you have an idea of the type of watch you want to buy, you need to think about two things in regard to the recipient of the watch: their fashion style and their overall lifestyle. Thinking about the person for whom you're buying the watch is absolutely the most important part of this process. You should steer clear from buying a watch only because you think it looks nice. In this case, just because you would wear it does not mean the recipient would wear it. Watches are unique in such a way that they're defining style quality of the people who wear them. If you want to buy a watch that the recipient will cherish, make sure you consider them and their style. To help you decide which watch to buy, think about whether the recipient's style is focused around a certain color, collection of shapes, or price tag. Is the intended recipient sporty or active? If they often wear bright colors and have an active lifestyle, you could consider looking at smartwatches, sports watches, or any type of watch you deem to be worthy of being worn by an active person. Is the gift for someone with a polished or casual style? Perhaps the recipient often dresses nicely, whether that be a suit, a dress, or something else. They might prefer a dress watch or, depending on how expensive their taste is, a luxurious watch. If they wear formal clothes more often than they wear casual clothes, the chances are that they would appreciate a dress watch more. In the same way, if someone tends to keep it casual, there is a high likelihood they would appreciate a casual watch more. Especially if a decent sized dress watch is coated with precious metal, wearing it casually may not be the best way to go. You can find plenty of basic yet reliable plastic or common metal quartz watches that are great for casual wear. Other lifestyles to think about could include whether the recipient is a diver, a camper, a pilot, or any type of specialized expertise for which there are specific watches made. Finding a watch that benefits them in more ways than one is a great idea. Watches are not only useful for telling time, countless watches available offer attributes specific to certain lifestyles, so make sure you check out various features while browsing your options. Do you need to know wrist dimensions? Although it's not the end of the world if you buy a watch that doesn't fit the recipient, people often wonder if they need to literally measure the recipient's wrist before choosing a watch to buy. In most cases, it's not entirely essential to get the exact measurements of the recipient's wrist. As you may know, almost every watch you come across is going to have a band with some type of adjustable features, particularly if the band is leather, rubber, or nylon. You'll probably never have to worry about buying one that's not going to fit. These bands will come with multiple holes or easily removable sections that allow you to fit the watch to your wrist just fine. Some trouble you may run into could happen if you buy a watch with a metal band. Oftentimes, metal bands can be adjusted by taking out or adding links. Still, this can be a nuisance as most people do not know how to do this themselves. It can be an inconvenience to have to take your watch somewhere or mail it off to be adjusted. If you are considering buying a watch with a metal band as a gift, you might want to ask the recipient to measure their wrist for you, especially if they might be expecting a watch. If possible, find out if the recipient prefers smaller or larger watches. The size of the watch face can make a significant difference to the experience of wearing it. How much are you willing to spend on a watch? Another huge factor that plays a role in deciding what type of watch to buy as a gift is your budget. As much as you may want to, it might not be possible to buy the most high-end luxurious watch for your friend or family member. Of course, some people are financially capable of doing so. If this pertains to you, feel free to spend more money on a watch. A better way to explain it is that while more expensive watches have higher quality materials and might be made by a well-known brand, it doesn't mean that it's more reliable than a more affordable watch or is more capable of getting the job done. Unless you have a specific reason for spending extra money on a watch for your gift, you should not feel obligated to shop out of your price range. Being able to single out certain watches and focus more on others closer to your price range can make your search for the perfect watch much easier. As said before, just because a watch costs less money does not mean it is any less functional than the most expensive watch you can find. Does the recipient want a watch? Another thing that was mentioned earlier is the question of whether the recipient needs or wants a watch. Especially if they have hinted at other things that they want, you should not spend your time shopping for an item in which the recipient has no interest. Other times, maybe the recipient has mentioned that they want a watch, or they already know you're getting them a watch, but they do not know which specific watch you're buying. It makes the process much easier if you know your friend or family member wants a watch. Sometimes it may be a pleasant surprise for them if they're not expecting it, but you must think about whether or not they're going to use it. You would not want to waste your money on a gift that someone does not put to good use. You can also benefit from knowing if the recipient wants a watch to consider how much you should spend. If they do not expect anything fancy, you might be more comfortable shopping for a more affordable watch. On the other hand, if they have an expensive taste, you might want to take a step of your game up and surprise them with something luxurious. Either way, following the information above will allow you to make your shopping experience more enjoyable for yourself, leading to satisfaction for the recipient as well. Takeaway: a watch can be an excellent gift for someone, but only if you take the time before buying to consider why you chose a watch as a gift. If you follow the advice above, it will make your search for a watch as a gift much easier. Plus, keeping the factors above in mind is a great way to know exactly what to look for when buying the watch. By taking the time to find a watch that works best for the recipient, you'll be able to spend your money wisely while also providing joy for the recipient. Please like and subscribe on YouTube to ensure you can find our other videos and explore further articles at exceptionaltiming.com.